Hi guys, Victoria here, Beyond Paper by Victoria, and today I'm sharing with you the latest kit from Tonic Studios, and it's called Scoops and Sprinkles. And basically you have a fantastic A5 die set, and I've put mine on a magnetic sheet just because I've been using it. Yours will come in a little wallet without the magnetic sheet. Now, as you can see here, we have a sundae glass, cherries, ice cream cone, and then you have your base, your waffle, your sauce, the base for your sundae, and a little clasp there for the ice cream cone. So, and as always, you'll find instructions in your set. You also have this embossing folder here, and that is great for embossing your card for adding onto your ice cream cone or using your cards with it. Okay, we also have your stickers you'll get in there as well. So let me just put all this to one side out of the way. You get your bag of goodness. So what do we have in here? We have the Nouveau Chalk Mousse in that stunning strawberry frappe. So lovely colour there. We also have the Nouveau Drop, and I think you'll find this is the red. So this is Crystal Drops Gloss, and it is Red Beret. And then we have, but not least, two of the glue pens. So these are great for using with your gilding flakes, etc. So I'm going to put all my goodness back in the bag, and we'll show you the papers. So here we have 18 sheets of luxury 8x8 200 GSM cardstock, 3 each of the 6 double-sided designs, and they're acid and lignin free. So I'll quickly just go through some of the patterns. So here we have a gorgeous stripe in peaches, and then you've got ice cream cones on the reverse. So we have those. Then we have like the texture of your ice cream cone, and then we've got a checkered design on the back in pastels. Then we have the sprinkles. Now 99 would not be the same without your sprinkles, would it? And then on the other side we have diamonds. Then we've got this cute, I think this is one of my favourites, the cherries. So you've got cherries there, and then you've got polka dots on the reverse. So I think that's my favourite, even though I shouldn't have one. And then this one, you have your sundae glasses, and then you have like a blue diamond effect there. And then last but not least, you have this little, I suppose they're like the round sprinkles really that you can get. And then you've got ice cream cones on the back there. Okay, so we've got those. So we'll put those away. And then obviously you have your A4 cardstock. So we have cashmere blue in the pearlescent. We have that gorgeous majestic gold in the pearl. And then we have, is that cream? I think that might be cream or champagne. I'm not sure without double checking. But that's your CP. Obviously your gorgeous pink in your CP, your Arctic blue in the CP, a beautiful lemon in your CP. Then we have the espresso brown in the CP, and then we have this red glitter card there, so your cherries would look absolutely amazing in that. So that is what is in your kit of goodness. So that said, we will make a little box. So I'm going to take this bracelet off because it always clangs against the glass and it will drive you mad. Get the glue out. So I do have the sundae glass prepped here, and I also have the ice cream cone. What we're going to go for in the first one? Should we go for the sundae glass? Let's go for the sundae glass. So I've prepped everything out that we need. Okay. So let's tip it all out. And you're going to need 6 of your base for the glass. and I've just used a white 240 GSM, and I've inked around the edge with like a blue tumble glass distress ink, just to give it that glass look. You know, we're not going for gold, but a little hint just to make it look a little bit more like glass. You're then going to need to cut 6 of these panels out, okay, and I have adhered those onto your ballerina pink Craft Perfect, because we're doing a strawberry sundae, so you will see the ice cream through the glass, so that's why we've gone with that colour behind. So we've got those. You're also going to need 6 of these, which go to the base of the glass, along with your decorative layers. All right. You're going to need a base for your sundae glass. And then we're going to need the ice cream. So here we've got 6 of these that will all be glued together. And you're very familiar now with like your bauble shaped tops. So this is how this one will go together. We've then matte and layered some sprinkles to go on the top of our ice creams, and I'll show you how I've done that to save time. If you don't like paper piecing, which not everybody does, I've just gone ahead with a white piece of cardstock and I've just gone in with some alcohol markers and I've just gone randomly in different colours. And then I've cut the sprinkly top out, so when that goes down you'll see all the little sprinkle colours shine through the cardstock there, so it looks like you've got lots of hundreds and thousands on the ice cream there. We've then got like a little wafer that goes on the top of the sundae or ice cream, and here you will need to cut 2 of these out. You've got a little glue tab there, and then you've got your layer, which we've just cut the glue tab off because obviously we don't need 4 glue tabs, and that one will be adhered to that one, and then your tab will be bent backwards, and then you will adhere 2 of them back to back on top of your sundae. Okay, we also have 2 cherries which will also be glued together on the back of the cherry and the top, and then this will become the top of your box. Okay, and then all those little top pieces that we've made here will be adhered to this here. Okay, so it will all come together like a dome. So with that said I should say, shall we crack on? So let's get all of our base pieces here for the cup. So we've got 6 of those. Well, we have if Vicky's cut everything out, as she should have. There we go. So glue. Can't do anything without our trusty wet glue. So I'm going to add adhesive now to this back part when Vicky ungunks her glue because she left the lid off. There we go. So we're going to place adhesive, she says very confidently. We've got a bit of gunk in there, that's what it was. All the way around the back portion. Lightly goes because we don't want it to warp because there's too much glue. So it might look like I'm putting a lot on, but I'm not. I'm just tickling the card. Okay, and then we want to place this piece onto that matte layer. Now you could have any piece that you wanted behind this. It's just that I am going with a strawberry themed sundae, so I'm thinking when you look through the glass you're going to see that gorgeous strawberry ice cream, my favourite. Right, so we've got those ready to go. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick all of our panels together. Now this adheres to this part. Now you could add this now, you could add it later. I'm going to add it now, and then they're already attached. Okay. There we go. and then when they're attached, I then attach to my base. Okay, there we go. And I'll do this until I go all the way around, and then I will do all the side panels. Okay, so again, and this is just a rinse and repeat. You can fast forward me here if you want to, because we're just going to adhere all these until we've gone all the way around. So I should say this is a good time to go put kettle on. Put kettle on, have a nice biscuit. There we go. I absolutely love this set. I think it is absolutely adorable. I've been waiting for a set like this for a while, you know. And it's here. Yay! There's so many exciting things coming. I'm bursting to tell you all, but I can't. I can't. Right. We've all been playing with some really, really cool things. And changing some of them out for something else. And anyone that's familiar with my channel knows that I love to change things. And not just change things for changing's sake, but it is nice to, when you see something and you see something else within the design, and then you have a go and it works out. I think we all try and do that in some shape or form. Right, so we're just going to add adhesive onto there. Now you could find a better way of putting this together. This is just my preferred choice. I've made a couple now, and I will show you some samples in a minute. Let me just put this together. And two more. There we go. So I hope you're all having a nice weekend. I mean, I don't know when this is going out, but today is a Saturday here in the UK, and it's warm, but it's an overcast day today. So it's kind of a day where once you've got your chores done, you either want to do a little bit of crafting or a little bit of reading. And I've just recently bought a Kindle for my birthday. My husband bought me a Kindle. And yeah, I'm in the reading mode at the moment. I run out of room for keep paperback books in the house, because storage is always an issue, isn't it? Especially when you're crafter and you have lots of craft to store. There's not necessarily always lots of room for other things. So my book cupboard under the stairs is full, so I thought might be time to bite the bullet and buy a Kindle. I did have one many years ago when they came, well, not when they came out, but a long time ago, and it had a keyboard built into it and everything, and it was a cracker, but obviously long since worked or updated, so it was time to take the plunge. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, I feel that coming then. Dear me. Pollen, I think. Right, so now I'm going to add adhesive to the bottom section first. And then I'm going to pinch that with my fingers and hold that until it's grabbed. And then I will tease that next section in once I know that's kind of got a hold. You can make this bottom section separate and then add the top section if you prefer. But this is my preferred way of putting it together. And then whilst I'm holding that, I will actually go down and glue the larger section together. Because you can get your hands in to hold it whilst it's doing its thing. There we go. Just check that it has grabbed before we move on to the next section, because otherwise we'll all be falling apart, won't we? So a little bit on there, and we just do this till we've worked our way around. All right. And I've just realised I am missing a piece, so we will have to cut a piece out. Do you know something? I cut the piece out last night ready to do this filming for today. And when I looked at all the pieces, I thought to myself, no, I don't. What do I need that piece for? And disregarded it, and goodness knows where it is now. Nowhere to be found anyway. That is for sure. Long gone. There we go. I think the grandchildren would love making these. All the little ones, obviously under supervision. But if everything's cut out for them, the only thing that you've got to watch them with is the glue. There we go. So I'm going to add that down. Keep me going tacky, can't it? And it just kind of all falls into place when you're going round. You just got to make sure you pinch that bottom section. There we go. And if you see it pull out, just pinch it back out and just hold it till you know it has grabbed. I mean, you will let each section dry longer before you move on to the next. And this is a really good size, guys, honestly. I was extremely surprised when I opened the kit and saw how big this sundae was. You can get plenty of treats inside this. I think this could be, it's a good old summer box, but to be fair, anybody that likes ice cream, and I know one particular lady out there that sadly lost her husband, and she's a very dear friend, one of my first Facebook friends, and she knows who she is, and her husband John absolutely adored ice cream, so whenever they went away on holiday she always got a photograph of him having an ice cream, and I've got to say they look mighty delicious. So this kit reminded me of her the minute that I saw it. Well, it reminded me of John. So we press that in there, and then this last section then. Now there is like an insert that goes in the top. Now you can add this before or you can add it afterwards. I will be adding it afterwards because obviously Vicky forgot to cut. Well, she didn't forget, she disregarded it. I cut it out and then thought, what do I need that for? There we go. So we're just going to pinch that in and tuck that tab in. And then we're going to pinch that in and tuck that tab in. There we go. Now this is why you can do the base at the beginning if you want to, because it is easier to get your little fingers in there. But this is the way we've gone, this is the way we will carry on. But yeah, you can just do this bottom bit separate, then add it to this if it's going to be a bit tricky putting it together, which mine is now wanting to be tricky. There we go. And I'll just hold it till I know it's grabbed there. I think the one that I've already made, I'm sure I did the base first, thinking about it. It was a little while ago, so. Vicky has a brain like a goldfish at the best of times. And when you make so many 3D, you move on to another one, and then you go back to something and it's, oh, how did I put this together? But yeah, if I remember rightly, I did put the base together first. It was a lot easier than I'm making this look now. Because you can get your fingers in and manipulate it if you do your bottom section first. But we get there. We get there. And then I am going to get my bone folder, something that I can put down there and push against whilst I pinch it. Where there's a will, there's a way. Excuse me guys, I'm going to sneeze again in a minute. Oh, it's the pollen. Terrible. I never suffered with hay fever up until it started last year. Oh dear. Go outside and your eyes are streaming. And I take an antihistamine as well. Oh dear. There we go. So I have made that look a lot harder than it is, to be fair. But if you just do that bottom section first, then you've got something to press against. There we go. Popping out. So I'm pinching it at the bottom because it's popping off. Oh dear. I'm making this look way difficult. I'm supposed to be here to make it look easy. That bottom panel just hasn't quite caught. Come on, stick together. There we go. So that is your cup. So if you're making this yourself, make this bottom section, these two, the base and this section first. You can get your fingers in there and then adhere those sections on. I think that would be a lot easier for you guys. And that's how I did the first one, but completely forgotten what I've made, and yeah, goldfish springs to mind. So what you will do is you will build another one of these in white, and it will be placed just under where that score line is there. See where it finishes there? It will sit in there, and that will frame your glass to keep its shape, but it will also give you something to rest your ice cream onto, because it'll be one of these touching one of these, and there isn't a hinge for this one as such, but that's how it will go, and I will show you that on a previous one that I've made, so bear with. So we did one previously, and we've gone for a chocolate sundae, and as you can see, the base is perfectly glued together there. So that's what I mean by you'd stick one in the top, and it keeps your cup, it will keep its shape and give it some support. But as you can see, blimey, you get one heck of a lot of sweets inside of there. That's a bit dark for you to see, but that's what you would do anyway. You'd put one of those in, and then when you make your ice cream just sits then on top. Now you can put magnets on it and magnetize it so it has some strength and stays on. You can have it loose. It's completely up to you. Okay, but this is where we're going, but we're going with a strawberry one. So we shall get the ice creamy part. I tell you what we'll do. We won't. We'll change our minds. This video is going very well, by the way. We will glue our panels on. That is what we will do. So we'll put adhesive on our panels. So I just had to pause it because hubby came in and he didn't know I was recording. So he's going to get told off shortly. So I tend to do my videos at night when the house is quiet and there's not so many kids playing outside, etc. You know what it's like, guys. Those of you that do videos or have done videos, try and pick the quietest time, but it's not necessarily the best light. So yeah, I'm at the front of the house and it doesn't get any sun at all, so it's always quite dark in here, so lighting can be an issue, shadows, etc. But we do what we can. We do what we can. Right. Place that on there. And another. And I just think by just inking those edges up, it just gives it that glassy look. You could go in with a very light mint. That would also give it that glass look, or very light grey. But of course you can make them any colour. And I'm sure once upon a time these type of glasses came in a colour as well. We had some of these glasses in the cupboard when I was a child. I think, yeah, parents always had these type of glasses and trifle glasses. Right, so that's that part. So we do have some bits of decoration for the base. I mean, this is just so you get an idea of construction. And like I said, you'll find your own way with it. You know, going back, yes, I did make the original one slightly different, which was better, because you can get your fingers in there and hold it. But I'm sure there'll be lots of inspiration to watch regarding the kits with all the girls on the DT. There'll be lots of reels, I'm sure. I'll decorate this up now. So whilst I'm here and I'm sticking away, how many of you are subscribers to my channel? I've been doing a little bit of jiggery pokery and seeing how many followers and what followers I have, and looking through my stats, I see an awful lot of people watching but not a lot of people subscribing. So it's completely up to you. Do not get me wrong, I'm not putting your hand behind your back and twisting it. If you would like to subscribe, it really helps my channel grow. It helps me bring content to you guys on a regular basis. If you do click my affiliated links in the description for the products that are available, I do make a small commission, but you can still use my links, guys, even if you're a kit subscriber and you get your TCK, or you're saving up your vouchers or any of the gems. You can still use my link, and it doesn't add anything extra to you to use my link. Like I say, I do make a small commission if you decide to purchase something through my links, either in the description in this video, or even if I've posted it on social media elsewhere and added links. But your support, it's really appreciated. I think, you know, all the DT girls would say that. We don't say thank you often enough, but we, you know, where we can, we want to say that we are very grateful. Right. I think some people just get a little bit scared. They think that they're subscribing to something and they've got to pay. There is no fee to watch my videos. It isn't, you know, you don't have to pay a monthly subscription to watch my channel. It's completely free. And I will try and bring as much content as I can. But you've got to appreciate it all does take lots of time to prep and make and edit, and yeah. Right, so that's your glass. They're decorated. Now if you wanted to add any further embellishment like a bow or something, then you could, absolutely you could. So now we're going to make the ice cream top. So we'll get all our bits into play. There we go. Okay. So for this, what I tend to do, you again will have your own way, is I will add adhesive to the tab. Well, I'll probably do a couple at a time so that it's gone tacky. Okay. And then I will add these oval sections now. There we go. And I'll go along adding those all to the score line. And we'll go and we'll burnish those in a moment. There we go. There we go. So we'll add a little bit more adhesive to those other tabs. Making sure you get it point on point. It'll go together a lot easier if you're quite accurate. And you'll all be familiar with this kind of box now. If you ever bought the Christmas bauble or your Easter bunny box, etc., they all kind of go together like this. So it's your Forest Friends as well. Oh, I absolutely love the Forest Friends set. What a smashing set that was. There we go. So we just hold those now till you know the glue has grabbed. And you can decorate your panels at this point if you want to, or you can add them at the end. It's completely up to you. Again, No right way, no wrong way. Whatever works for you. These videos are just to give you an idea of what we've made, how we make it, and then it's up to you where you go from there. A lot of people would maybe join them together at the tip first. It's completely up to you. There's no right way, no wrong way. So now we have these little side pieces. So I'm just going to add wet adhesive to those and then bring them up. Now you can shake them a little bit beforehand if you want to, before you actually glue them onto the box, or you can just tease it as the glue is drying. Okay. The secret for Vicky is not to go too fast here and then make a gung-ho of it. You can actually curve them a little bit whilst they're glued on there, and that helps with the curvature of the box. Okay, so we're going to tuck him in and we're just going to repeat, so we go all the way around. And it's easy to put this together because you can get your fingers underneath and in on the top. So if you put the top on, you're kind of just holding it from underneath, where this way you can manipulate the card a little bit more. So we'll go on to the next one. Like I said, you won't be as quick as putting yours together as I am here. But I'm sure you don't want to watch a video that is very lengthy for something that doesn't take that long to put together. I'm just amazed at the storage for this box. I really am. And have some fun with it. Could use it as a beautiful vase as well and put some handmade flowers on stalks. You could put them on straws and turn it into a vase, and that would also look quite cool. You could actually have it as a milkshake container, put some straws inside and decorate the straws. You know, there's lots of different things that you can do with it. It's not just an ice cream sundae. And I'm sure all the girls will show you a different way of putting it together and doing different things with it. They're just a few things I thought of along the way, as you do. And definitely, guys, if you haven't already got it, when you place your order for your kit, if you're not a subscriber and you're subscribing for the first time, obviously if you're a subscriber, you're a subscriber. If you haven't already invested in the glaze, I would highly recommend the glaze for this set. I know you've got your strawberry drops in there for like your raspberry sauce, but if you've got different coloured cardstock, if you put your clear glaze on, it just lets you glaze. You could glaze the ice cream if you wanted to. You could glaze the cherries. It's completely up to you. So we just pinch those bits together, and then what I tend to do is put mine upside down. Okay, because it's easy. And then I will add glue to the insides of the tabs, and I will place my hex inside, pressing down. I grab those glue tabs. It's just easier than trying to line it up on the outside. And then flip him over, and then you're ready to add your top. Now here you can either add your pink top, so you've got your ice cream like so. And I'm just going to flip that back over so I can press down against the desk, make life easier for myself. Okay, so there's your top. Or you didn't need to put that one on, you could have just put your cherries on the top there, because these are just going back to back. So if we put adhesive on that part and then glue the two sides together like that, to make sure they have stuck, you're then going to separate them, and then you're going to adhere these to the top. Okay, so you're just going to go ba-doing, pinching them together as you go. Now if you wanted to, you could put your wafer on there as well, which I think we might when it's dried. And what I've already done, I've already gone ahead here and I have cut the cherry sauce and I have put a glaze on there. So I'm going to glue these on top. Actually, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to add the decorative hundreds and thousands pieces first. Okay, so I'll add those bits on. Just wait till that's grabbed. Okay, work our way round. Round we go. And then the last few sections. There we go. Nearly there. You do have to hold them just a little while because, you know, the box does have that curvature. So you could do them before if you wanted to. And then we're just going to glue this top panel onto that panel that we've coloured with our pens, just to give it that sprinkly look from underneath. So there we go. So it wouldn't be complete without the hundreds and thousands, would it? Or the sherbet. I think they put like little blue sherbet on things these days. There we go. And just make sure you are all completely dry and it's grabbed everywhere before you kind of move on. Okay, so then these pieces I tend to just bend slightly and then add a little bit of adhesive, and then they will go and dribble down your sundae. Alright, so we'll do our best to line them up, and again left these drying overnight. So I'll just shape them a little bit. There we go. There we go. Piece of paper off. 2 more sections to go, guys. I think if you got the grandchildren making these, or the little ones making these, I think they'd have such a fun time. And then go and buy some sweeties to put inside. So we're just going to put this ice cream cone together and leave that to dry for a second or two. Okay, so we've got one piece of the wafer there, so we'll just add this piece on here. Okay. And then we're going to glue it to the back of that one. Just so if you're looking at it from either side. I mean, you don't have to add both. You could, you know, just add one or the other if you prefer. And then a little bit of adhesive on those tabs. And I'm just going to have that at a slight angle behind the back of the cherry. And just hold that down for a second. So for the piece that I forgot to cut out, I'll show you why it's important that you do have it. So this is one that I've made previously, okay, and you'll see I've added that into the top because your lid needs to rest on there, okay, because if I just put that in there now, it will sink right down to the bottom. But for the sake of the video, we'll pretend there's already one in there, but you would just cut 2, one for your ice cream top and one for your glass, and then that would rest in there. You could put magnets, you could put a magnet under the lip here and under here, and it will grab. For the ice cream, we do have a hinge for the ice cream cone, but this is a little bit different for this one. So if I find it now, it's here somewhere. So if you haven't got this already, I would highly recommend it. It's the Nouveau Crystal Glaze, and it adds this shiny surface to whatever you're working with. So if I wanted to now make that cherry go all crystally, then it goes on cloudy like that, and it will dry shiny. So I will just add a little bit there to my cherry, and I will do this side so that it matches, and just leave that to dry. It will be dry in, well, an hour, but it will be dry, thoroughly dry in a couple of hours. And then imagine that that does have the rim in the lid, and voila. So that is the sundae to your sprinkles, scoop and sprinkles. I'll be very careful with the top of that one now. I'll just leave it there. But that is how it will look. And I would definitely add a magnet there and a magnet there, and then that will just sit in place. But as you can see the chocolate ice cream through the glass on that one, and that one would be the strawberry one. So that is how that goes together, guys. Not a perfect demonstration, but we'll try and do better for the next one. So anyway, guys, if this interests you, links are always in the description, feel free. But please give me some feedback. Tell me that you're there in the chat. Don't forget to give a thumbs up if you like what you see, and please hit that subscribe button, because it's absolutely free, doesn't cost you a penny, and it just helps my channel grow, gets me out there, gets me seen by a few more people, get a few more people in, and it just helps me grow my channel. So just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. It is a pleasure as always, and I will catch you all very soon for the ice cream cone. Bye guys, take care.